Hello there, my RPG lovers, and welcome to another video. 2025 was a pretty big year for Gothic 3 modding scene.
You again! I can't go anywhere without running into you, can I?
We got some amazing mods which substantially improved the base experience of the game, while some older mods got major updates and new features, and we're going to talk about all of this in this video. Last year, I had a pretty big video about Gothic 3 with a full guide for installing all major patches, fixes and mods. There is no need to do that again, because the process remains the same when it comes to the installation itself. So if you plan to follow an installation guide from scratch, you should check out the installation part of that video. However, I will have a small section in the second part of this video where I'm going to explain what has changed in the newest version of Union Plus, the mod starter for Gothic 3. Union Plus starter contains all the mods you're ever going to need for Gothic 3 in a single package, and it has some very powerful features which allow you to customize your Gothic 3 experience. It's never been easier to set everything up and get the game to work properly, and it's very intuitive. In the last couple of years, we got some huge mods for Gothic 3 like Union Plus and Balance Ultimate, which improved the game on so many levels. During 2025, we got some amazing mods, like Gothic 3 Armor and Weapon Rebuild, many great animation mods, alternative worlds, and so on. We are going to cover all of that, and I'm going to help you prepare for an amazing 2026 Gothic 3 experience. Right after a quick word from today's sponsor. The sponsor of this video is Diablo Immortal. The First and the Last King is a huge update for Diablo Immortal, and it's coming out this December. This update features an epic crossover between Diablo Immortal and WoW, featuring the Lich King and Sylvanas, and the culmination of the year-long Epoch of Madness storyline. It's the epic finale of the Worldstone saga, featuring new zones, bosses, and cinematic story moments. Sharval Wilds is a new subzone where the players will face off against Albrecht and Aukhild and participate in massive siege battles across Ensteig. PvP fans can check out Cutthroat Basin, an 8 vs 8 battleground with equalized power launching as part of the WoW crossover celebration, while the collectors can enjoy the Return of the Mornskull legendary gem, plus premium Lich King and Sylvanas inspired Phantom Market cosmetics starting December 24th. So jump into Diablo Immortal this December to experience the conclusion of the Worldstone saga and explore all the seasonal events. Download Diablo Immortal for free by using my link down below and dive into Sanctuary today. Gothic 3 Armor and Weapon Rebuild is a huge project which basically affects almost all items from Gothic 3. But not only that, it also affects items from other big mods like Lively Towns, Night Chronicles, Content Mod, Pirate's Dream, and so on. In total, this mod replaces more than 350 items with new textures, models, and even icons. This quickly became one of my most essential mods for a new Gothic 3 playthrough. It touches upon everything, and it makes all of these items look sharper and more polished in general. It replaces 61 armors, 23 bows, 15 crossbows, 18 helmets, 11 shields, and 152 weapons. Yeah, pure insanity. Not only that, but this mod also fixed and replaced a lot of animations which were related to some of these items. 2.2 is the newest version of this mod, and this update brought some major changes as well. This time around, all NPCs in the game got the same treatment in terms of new outfits, armors and body textures. Yet another feature of this mod which makes the game look more modern, especially when it comes to sharper textures. You'll notice this from the very beginning of the game, especially if you play the game on a very high resolution. Changing the textures and bodies of all NPCs in the game is such a crazy thing to do. Even though Gothic 3 aged pretty well in terms of visuals, this mod makes it look so much better. Refreshing the outfits and bodies of all NPCs in the game leaves a huge mark on the overall visual experience. This is the first time where we can see these changes for all NPCs in the game, which changes the visuals drastically. If you're playing the game for the first time ever and you use this mod, it would be very hard to play it again without it. The amount of work and hours that went into creating this mod is probably huge. Animation Redone is a group of animation mods which add various animations for weapon attacks. But the first mod I want to showcase is not related to weapon attacks. Unarmed movement is a brand new mod which came out a couple of months ago and is done by the same modder who worked on weapon animation mods. As the name would suggest, this mod changes the unarmed movement animations. It seems like a subtle change until you notice some old, terrible animations from the base game. I never even noticed how terrible the strafing animation is. God damn. As you can probably tell from these examples, the movement looks way better and more natural. This mod eliminates a lot of jankiness when moving, especially when using the strafe button. But even the default running and sprinting looks and feels so much better now. The strafing is not so important for me personally because I use another mod which changes how the movement works. And if you watched my video from 2024, you probably know what I'm talking about. And if not, ICS Classic Camera allows you to move in all directions, which eliminates the need for strafing in general unless you're using a ranged weapon. Now let's talk about weapon animation mods from the Animation Redone project by the same mod author. Basic, strong, quick, special and finishing attacks have brand new animations for all weapon types, which will include dual wielding, staves and halberds as well as all two-handed weapons. Staves and halberds are probably the most interesting because we never had unique animations for those weapon types. They would simply share the same animation with all two-handed weapons. Now we have proper stabbing animations for spears and similar weapon types, which feels like it was supposed to be in the game from the very beginning. However, all of this can be changed in the Union starter. As you can see here, you have multiple options for selecting various animations for the same moves. Power jump attack is interesting but a little bit over the top for my taste. I love the new special attack, or the whirl attack as it's called in the mod starter. Dual wielding style makes the animations look better in general, even though it's not a huge difference. Even so, the animations look way better and less stiff compared to the base game. The same can be said about two-handed sword animations. They are so much better compared to the vanilla game. Two-handed axes works the same as two-handed swords. And if you're wondering about one-handed weapons, well, that's already completely changed by another mod, which I featured in the last video. It's the same mod I mentioned before, ICS Classic Camera. This mod adds an entirely new set of animations for all one-handed weapons. It's very similar, if not identical to Risen 1 one-handed animations, and I talked about this in my previous video. All of these animations are completely optional, and you can pick and choose which animations to use in the Union game launcher. Speaking about weapons, we have a pretty cool combat feature. There is a timed block / parry feature from one of the mods called the New Balance in Combat. Yet another mod I featured before, but this particular feature got a very cool update. When you time your blocks right before enemies are going to hit you, you will see the enemy getting stunned for about 3 seconds. More like slowed down than stunned, but this effect is pretty much the same. That's more than enough for you to perform a very powerful attack while the enemies are stunned, so now it's worth using. However, it's still a bit uncertain when it actually happens. Maybe there is just a cooldown for it and you can't use it constantly, I'm really not sure because sometimes it just doesn't trigger. Still though, it's pretty cool to see this mechanic in Gothic 3 and it got a lot better than before. This works against most NPCs in the game, even animals. But enemies can do this to you as well, so it's not exclusive to the player character. New Balance in Combat as well as Balance Ultimate are still the core of this gameplay experience in Gothic 3, and they are getting updated on regular basis. The list of changes and updates from those mods is simply too big. You can check them out by yourself and maybe watch my previous video where I focused a lot on showcasing all features from those huge mods. They touched upon all gameplay features like combat, crafting, items and so on. The last big mod I want to feature here is called Alternative Worlds. This is a very ambitious mod which adds new areas to existing locations like Vanguard, Bucharest, Trellis and so on. It was always kind of weird why we couldn't see any ports in Gothic 3 cities, especially when it comes to the capital, Vanguard. This mod is obviously still work in progress, so there is not much to do in these new locations, except interact with some generic merchants or loot some stuff. There is a small quest related to Zardas, but that's about it. I assume the author of this mod is going to add some new content in the future, which is going to utilize these new areas. But even like this, it's very cool to see these new areas, and they feel like they should have been in the game from the very beginning. Here's a little showcase of some of these new areas. Here's everything you need to know about the new version of Union Plus Launcher. This will be the core of your Gothic 3 experience, and it's never been better. Once again, if you're starting your installation from scratch, I urge you to check out my video about Gothic 3 from a year ago, and at least watch the part where I guide you through the installation process. On the other side, if you want to update your existing Union Plus launcher, all you need to do is to delete the folder, download the new version, and paste it in your Gothic 3 folder. You will still need to perform the installation of mods once you select the mods you want to use. Do take in mind that your previous saves will probably not work correctly and you need to start a new game. In this newest version of Union Plus Mod Launcher, you will find more outer mod packs which you can use. This is basically the easiest way to get a lot of great mods for your game without doing anything. By selecting one of these presets, the launcher will automatically activate a lot of mods at once. But if you want to have a greater control over this, you can always select mods manually as well. The newest version of the mod launcher will show you which mods can be used in the combination with other mods. Some of them will instantly fade out, so you know they are not compatible with something you're using. It's very hard to mess things up in the newest version. I would still recommend sticking with one of these outer mod packs if this is your first time playing and modding the game. You can still add more mods on top of these presets if you find something you like. The newest version of the mod launcher also has a lot more mods in general compared to previous versions. Now you can even see animated pictures which will showcase certain effects of these mods, like different animations. Pretty damn cool. Do take in mind that you still need to drop the English translation when you install or update the Union Plus launcher. Luckily, this English translation mod also got updated for the newest version of Union, and you'll need to download it from Nexus Mods. I'll also have all of the updated download links in this video description. If anything seems confusing here when it comes to the installation process, once again, check out this video please. And those will be the mods which will prepare you for Gothic 3 in 2026.
You bastard! Where did you pick that up?
Let me know if you're going to try out this game in 2026 for the first time ever, or just come back for another playthrough. Whatever the case might be, if you plan to play this game, I certainly recommend trying to set all of this up because it will improve the overall experience so much. And now it's easier to do than ever, so why not? The whole Gothic trilogy is also coming out on consoles in 2026, which is going to be interesting to see. I'll be here to cover that as well, so stick around. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more content like this. And if you want to go a step further, consider supporting your boy by becoming a YouTube channel member or a Patreon. Huge thanks to all my current supporters, and I'll see ya in the next one.